Welcome back. It's another day and another hospital appointment. So we are at the train station. We need to get the train to Leicester and then the bus because I've got the allergy clinic today. The dates of this appointment have been interesting. So I was supposed to be seen on the 23rd and I had a bad reaction to medication and so my symptoms are not medicated. My appointment was brought forward to today. Then I got a letter cancelling today's appointment and pushing it back to the 23rd but at a later time. And then I got a letter reminding me that I had an appointment today. So I had to phone up and find out what was going on, but I am being seen today. So we are off on our travels to the hospital. I was all hyped up yesterday to film the day and it just all went downhill. When we got to the train station, they hadn't been told that we were coming, so there was no ramp. There was somewhere a breakdown in communication. It got sorted, but it took quite a while of me sitting, pressing the open button every time the doors went to close, which is fine. I leave plenty of time for travel in case these things happen. Found the temporary bus stop okay, but it was raining so I didn't want to get my camera out. And then we got to the hospital fine, loads of time. It wasn't my consultant and I really struggled with everything that happened with pregnancy and Elise's birth and afterwards, and not having that continuity of the same person. That's largely what went wrong in terms of my care. So having someone new who doesn't know me and I don't know I can trust is really difficult. Unfortunately, he said something triggering right at the start of the appointment, which really didn't help matters. I was expecting it to be an update appointment and then a we'll see you in 9 months kind of thing. It wasn't. I've got to change one of my medications, one of my pain medications. Bless you! Bless you! Because I found out yesterday that some non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, I think I've got that name right, block something or do something that makes hives worse or mean you're more likely to get hives. I can't remember. It was a difficult appointment and I don't remember a whole lot, but I do know that I need to change my anti-inflammatories. That makes me very nervous because I've had to change them once already because the pharmacy, no one could get in what I normally have, and within half a day of being on a different anti-inflammatory I was really struggling, and a couple of days later I could barely move. So it's not an appealing prospect, but I feel like I have to try. I've also been given an open appointment, but it's only for 6 months, which the problems I have with hives are seasonal, so I don't anticipate there being any problems, but it means that come February I'm going to have to phone up and see if they will extend the 6 months so that I can be seen when I need to, because otherwise I'll be discharged and then I'll have to be re-referred, and the referral took an entire year to actually be seen from when the GP sent it. So I'm not liking my odds there, and I've had issues with open appointments before being discharged because a hospital's changed their policy on how long they're gonna keep it open, and then I've been discharged from the hospital where Elise was born when I should have been sent back to my consultant. So it's making me feel very nervous, but there's not a lot I can do. I've just got to see what happens. But today is really exciting. Today is new wheelchair day. After 2 years and 9 months of being left with a broken wheelchair, I'm getting a new one. Today's pickup day. I'm excited. I'm nervous in case the measurements have been done wrong, which was one of the issues with the current chair. So my foot plate is way too low, so my ankles just wobble around because I can't put my feet flat on the chair. The backrest angle was wrong, so I was getting no support at all from the backrest. So I'm excited but nervous, and unfortunately, despite being told that I will have a replacement smart drive rather than mine being fixed because there have been continuing issues. That hasn't happened yet. So I'm not sure what the situation with power is going to be for the next few days. I'm hoping I will just be left with the power chair wheelchair service have loaned me for until the smart drive arrives. But it's possible they won't. We will see. But I'm trying to stay positive, trying to stay excited about my new wheelchair. But the wait is nearly over. New chair will be today. New smart drive will be in not very long. We're getting there. We're making progress. Mummy's purse is a fascinating place, isn't it? Yeah. Lissy, what does a dog say? Good girl. What does a duck say? Quack, quack, that's right. What does a lion say? Roar! And what does a cat say? Meow! That's right, you are so clever. Can we do one more? What does a tiger say? Roar! You're so clever. Oh, and one big piece of news that I'd forgotten to tell you, I meant to tell you. The big thing that I've been working on that I'm keeping secret, that you'll have seen outtake clips of part of what I was working for. I'm babbling. I should probably just say it's a funding application of sorts. Has been submitted. I have been working non-stop whenever I've had a spare moment on this. It's been amazing to work on. It's really got me thinking about the business and what I might do with it and what I'm gonna where I'm gonna take things. But at the same time, it's been absolutely exhausting during a time that I could probably have done with a few rest days to get over hospital appointments and things like that. But it's now in, so today's largely going to be pick up chair, do a couple of small jobs, and everything else is rest. But I'm also really excited to start new stuff, blog posts that I haven't published a blog post in a while. So it'll be nice to get that done. I've got some video content that I'm excited to film. So I'm excited for all of the other things I can start doing now that that's completed. New chair is here. We had a fiddle, so we've changed the height of the backrest because it was set at the lowest option despite that not being what was on the prescription, but it's now at the right height. What else have we tinkered with? The angle of the backrest was reclined, so I was getting no support from it, which was the issue that I had with my other chair because, again, it was set at a recline and I was getting no support from it until I figured out that's what needed to be done. And I changed it. There is now more manoeuvrability, probably not the right word, on the anti-tips in terms of how long they are. So I've got them set to be a little bit more tippy, but still be there. I have to admit my heart dropped when I saw my new chair because the foot plate was not fixed as I need it. That's the best way to describe it. So the issue that I had with my previous chair was that the foot plate was way too low. The fix for that was to put a bar within the main part of the frame and then bolt on the foot plate part, which was okay, but meant I couldn't use my freewheel. And we did all the measurements so that it should have come so that the foot plate was all connected, and it didn't. It was yet again a bar with a foot plate just mounted, which is going to be no good for me. So we're going to try and come up with a solution. The problem is the foot plate that was mounted on the new chair is smaller than the frame of the chair. So we couldn't put this in and start fiddling around. A new foot plate with a cover is going to need to be ordered. In the meantime, we've put the old foot plate on the new chair. The new chair is closer to the ground than the old chair, and we're not quite sure why. There's a theory that the leg length, now that it's right, or now that it's less, even though my legs haven't shrunk, potentially it's a cushion's been taken into consideration this time. Anyway, so potentially I was sitting too high in the old chair. This chair is definitely lower, so that means the seat is lower, so there is less of a wobble for my feet. We've turned the foot plate round, and that means that my feet are closer to the foot plate, because as you bring your feet further up behind your knees, or yeah, behind your knees, your foot gets higher. So at the moment it's not ideal, but we've turned it round. It's less of a wobble, and Wheelchair Service are going to order a new foot plate, the right size for the frame, with a cover. And then the theory is we're going to put something in between the cover and the tubing, that's the word, or on top of. My only concern is that might affect the free wheel. Anyway, I'm going to show you the new chair now. So Lissy and I got a taxi down to Wheelchair Service there and back. And on the way home, having just picked up my new chair, the taxi driver scratched it. So I've been on the phone to the taxi company. They've already been out, they've taken some photos, and they're going to make it right somehow. I did also report his rather inappropriate questions and comments about why I needed a wheelchair and being a mum with a wheelchair. And the really sad thing is that the guy who came out to take photos, lovely, when I was just saying, oh, he also kind of said this, and he was really apologetic, not company policy, and I found myself saying, it's not all right, but I'm used to it. I shouldn't be used to it. Nobody should have to deal with comments about anything to do with their health or anything to do with them being a parent from a complete stranger. But the important thing is that they are taking it seriously and they're going to do something. So I am now going to show you my chair. So we have a much lower backrest, but at a helpful angle. We've got mud guards to stop Elise catching her feet on the wheels. I have grippy wheels again to make pushing easier so that I don't end up like that with my fingers and end up hurting them. Different design on the back, which I'm quite liking. Anti-tips are much shorter, so I've got significantly more tip. And that's the old foot plate, but isn't a long-term solution. And it's not ideal that it's sticking out. Importantly, no push handles. The backrest height that I needed didn't have folding down push handles, so I've gone without.